According to BreakLevelIndex.com, since 2013, 13.4 billion, that's with a B, accounts have been stolen through data breaches. Every person here has some form of online account. Even if you try to limit your online presence, as a student you're required to have an email, a Blackboard account, and a campus connection. Poor password use can affect the security of all these accounts. As the treasurer of NDSU's Cybersecurity Club, I can provide you with relevant information not only to how password gets stolen, but how you can prevent it from affecting you. Choosing weak passwords, as well as reusing passwords for multiple sites, combined with data breaches, allows hackers to take control over many people's accounts, but this can be prevented by proper use of the password manager. I will first talk about the problems that data breaches can cause with everyday users like you and I. Then I will talk about what causes these problems, and finally I will inform you of how you can avoid them. For starters, what problems can come from data breaches? Almost every week there is a headline announcing that a new company has been the subject of a data breach. According to Taylor Telford of the Washington Post, just this week, Marriott announced that 500 million of its users' accounts and passwords were stolen. This is a problem for two reasons. It can let hackers access your compromised accounts, and it can allow hackers to build up databases to guess the password for other accounts. According to Laura Seidel of NPR, she details in her article that companies are allowed to delay notifying the consumers of breaches if it would impede their investigation. This means that compromised accounts and passwords can get passed around between all these hackers, allowing them to access your account for nefarious purposes, while the rightful owner may have no idea it's going on. So what, you might think? Someone has access to my Target account or my Marriott Hotels account. I can just change this password and who cares? This brings me to my second point. Hackers can use combinations of data breaches to build up a database about different passwords you use and your password habits. Then they can compromise many of your accounts. According to a study conducted by Digital Guardian, the average American has 90 online accounts, all requiring a password. 90 unique passwords would become tiresome to keep track of. So what's most people's solution to this large amount of passwords? Simply reuse them. While your Target or Marriott account may not seem important if it's hacked, what about your bank account? If you reuse your password, hackers can use pass breaches to gain access to most of your accounts. According to Lee Matthews of Forbes magazine, there are constantly lists of passwords for sale on places all over, such as the dark web. One file mentioned was 42 gigabytes and contained over 1.4 billion different passwords. With this amount of data, hackers can examine the previous passwords you used for a breach site and use this information to log into other accounts, such as your email. With access to your email, they can easily reset passwords to your bank account, Facebook, credit card, or loan sites. Just by having one breached account and accessing your email, they can access almost any of your accounts. So what are we doing that allows hackers to get this information? The main cause of data breaches is companies having insecure methods of storing our account information. We have little to no say in this. However, there are two components that we do that can cause our accounts to be compromised: using weak passwords and reusing passwords. By using weak passwords for our accounts, it makes it easier for hackers to decrypt the data stolen in breaches. The simpler the password is, the quicker it can be done. Passwords of short length and passwords without symbols or numbers can be guessed in a relatively short time. According to an article by Dan Gooden of Ars Technica, the weakest passwords can be unencrypted in the time span of just a single day. This is often long before the company would announce the breach to the public. The second thing that allows accounts to be compromised so easily is the reuse of passwords. If a password was used for an account in a previous breach, the hacker's job becomes trivial. A job that would take days to brute force, a term for guessing every possible password, now takes seconds. As stated earlier, lists like these exist all over online and are constantly growing, making reusing passwords more dangerous with every breach. So what can we do to stop this from happening? The easiest solution to keep your account safe and to minimize the effects of data breaches are to use a strong, randomized password which is unique for every account you have. This is an example of one such password. It contains letters, numbers, symbols, and is random. There's no